Good morning, everyone. This is Meg, Meg's Little House in the Country. Hope I don't look as tired as I feel, but if I do, oh well, at least it's Friday. Going out to check on the raised beds to see how my plants are doing. Still just having male flowers here on my zucchini. Don't see any. Oh, there might be one female flower starting to form down there. Oh, I don't know if you saw that very well, but yeah, that means we're gonna be getting zucchini here real soon. Also checking the other squashes. Yeah, the male flowers always form first, so yeah. And that sun is right at the angle to... But yeah, oh, my lemon cucumbers are taking off. And I think I need to check the ground cherries to see if they're producing anything more. Everything is taking off and getting big, except for one little tiny tomato plant, which isn't doing too good still. No matter what I do with it, it's the fertilizer or anything, it just doesn't act like it wants to do much. In fact, I can't even see that it's trying to put out any new growth either. You know, usually you see new leaves sprouting and coming out. No, I don't see those. I'll show you. Okay, it should be putting on new leaves. There should be buds down there along the stems and everything, and I don't really see anything. There should be more coming out the top there. I will treat it again and snip back all the brown spot areas, but oh god, not much hope if it isn't going to put out new growth, and it should have been putting out new growth by now. As it is, this one is putting out new growth, and it is growing. Not only that, but look how much bigger the fruit has gotten on this one than on this one. This one, it's like they've stopped developing. They're not rotting or anything, but they're just not growing and getting big. Yeah, I need to look under my ground cherries to see if we got anything ripe yet. Lift up their little fronds and look under. I don't see anything under, but boy, they're sure getting big. And they are producing. If you notice, see how well my ground cherries are producing? They've got a lot they're putting on. So they're doing great. My honey nut squash is still not even blooming yet, though I think we got some flower buds finally. So I might actually get something off of it this year. Yeah, I might. Didn't realize, I thought the honey nut squash would have taken over this long before the ground cherries got big. But it's been slow growing. I think this next year I'm going to buy some more bags of composted steer manure and just work it into the top layer of soil. And of course, I will have Mom's been buying bags and bags of the chickadee doo-doo. Every time she goes to Walmart, she grabs a couple more. So we're going to be well stocked on fertilizer for a while. But I did note that, you know, it seemed to really help when I transplanted this one squash over to here. You know, well, when I put go back. When I bought my lemon cucumbers, I put chickadee doo-doo down in the bottom of the hole and then around it. Look how big they're growing. And when I transplanted this little one, I did the same. And it's doing much, much better. Though I do need to chop back the nasturtiums again. They're trying to take over the whole entire bed. They're just supposed to be a border plant like on the other side. See the other side? Nasturtiums, nice little cute plants, lots of flowers. That's what this is supposed to look like. It's literally taken over this one section of the bed. Oh boy. And everybody else is doing great. Looking good. I need to, well, I'm actually just letting these go to seed. I'm going to see if they will actually go to seed so I can get more seeds for these white marigolds. Really have enjoyed them. Even though they're not pure white like in the pictures. I think those pictures have been photoshopped a little bit. But yeah. Anyways, and I do need to come and deadhead all my chives. And I gotta harvest the rhubarb again. Oh boy. Well, I'm gonna head over to the pumpkin patch. Ignore my brush pile. It will probably disappear one day. That's what happens. I just come home one day from work and the brush pile is gone. But, oh yeah. This is looking awesome. I mean, I did try to angle these so they were in rows, but you notice we're now getting the cross. The vines now, once they just start going wherever they want. So I just let them go wherever they want. I try to keep them in the pumpkin patch, but the vines end up going eventually wherever they want to go. Lots and lots of male flowers, which is good. It's warming up out here right now. It's about in the 50s. It got down to 48 last night. That was, God, it had me just a little worried because for July, that's a little cool. I'm trying to angle that one there because it wants to come straight out here into the lawn. So let's check on the raspberries now that I've taken time to do some weeding. Okay, and you see, we're doing much better. And this one is doing much better. Now these are new canes that have come up. Those are new ones. They're not big the way I'd like them. See, this is a new cane. This is an old one from last year. It's still hanging on, though the old ones usually die back by midsummer. This one was not too happy. I think the wind got it because it no longer had the protection of the weeds. So the wind kind of got that, but you can see it's got new growth coming up from the center. I think these would benefit these canes. This is an old cane, and you can see it's kind of trying to hang in there. And this is the new growth. So I just got to keep these weeded. That's a nice new cane, and it looks like it's going to come up nice and sturdy, and that's an elm tree, which we do not need. But these are a couple, this is an old cane, but the fact that it's green indicates that the roots are still alive. Same with this one. That's just a little bit off an old cane. The roots are still alive on that cane. Yeah, that's all I'm doing is trying to keep roots alive and hope for new growth. But I think some of these, they just really died back. In fact, a lot of these, I think, just really died back. And so, that's an elm tree. And all I got to do is keep it weeded. And hopefully, next year I'll just dig up a bunch out of my mom's. Oh, good grief. Pocket gophers have been active again. But yeah, just get this, keep it weeded. And somebody suggested maybe in the fall dig up canes, but they don't go dormant until after the hard freezes, and then your ground is frozen. So usually the best time to transplant is early spring after the ground is woke up, usually March and April, and the ground thaws out so you can dig, and then you just dig up all the old and dig up dormant canes from somewhere else and put them in. And yeah, when they wake up from their winter slumber, they wake up in new ground. But you want to get them before they start budding out, or just when they start budding out, when it's still cool, when we've got cool days and cool nights. They seem to transplant better. I could try digging up some baby plants, putting them in pots and bringing them in the house and making them house plants for a while and seeing if that would help, but who knows. Oh, the marigolds that I never got transplanted are very happy down under the squash, but I still got to get them moved into this spot here. It's a bare spot and they won't get squashed by squash laying on top of them, because once the zucchinis start producing, yeah, we're going to have squash everywhere. Oh boy. I do need to get out and work a little more on my rose bed this weekend. I got to get it completely done and weeded, at least for this month. Look at this. We got flowers. You know what flowers means? Flowers means we get peas. Oh boy. Let's see if I can do a little more weaving. Vine weaving. I still gotta get stakes up in these tomato beds. But yeah. They're doing good. I got a flower there too. So yep, they're heading down. They're gonna be rolling these sprinklers all the way down to the well head there, and it's time to rotate the water. So the water will be starting down there by the road, and then they'll move it from one spot to another. And see, there's one. So this is one. They're going all the way down to the one by the well, and they'll be moving the sprinkler here in a minute. Yep, they've already got the little motor hooked up to it. See? The motor is already hooked up to it. It's ready to start rolling it down the field. Getting things going there. Oh, tripping over sticks. Gotta pick up sticks. Need to get things mowed again too. And because we've had some winds this week, I now have wind-blown trash in my yard. Oh, look at this. Isn't that delightful? Things that get blown in on the wind. Sticks is one thing. I just hate it when you get wind-blown trash. Seems like all I did yesterday was just pick up trash at work. Yes, they had me working outside again. But that outer courtyard area where we've been storing stuff, there was just so much leaves and trash and that had piled up in and around the shelving and the pallets, and it all needed to be cleaned up. It looks so much better. And I wore a hat. I took one of my hats to work. Yes, I took a hat to work. I wore one of my garden hats. I got this awesome hat a few years ago at Costco. Yeah, I look absolutely ridiculous in it. I mean, really. But the thing gives you really good coverage for your face because it's got a wide forward brim and it's got a very wide back brim that literally I got to get all this trash in a trash bag. Anyways, it's got a really wide brim that covers the back of your neck. And it's sun protection zone. And if you see the hat, when you're wearing it, you see how it dips down in the back? It's just got this really wide brim to cover the back of your neck and a really wide, so it's pretty much oval. You can see how the whole hat is really oval. This covers your face and this covers the back of your neck. And yeah, I got it at Costco a few years ago and it was a lifesaver yesterday. I mean, that whole wide back brim covered my poor sunburnt neck. So I didn't get sunburned. It didn't get worse. And I've been putting aloe on it. Snipped another little aloe frond off and got that done. Let's see. Tree is still okay. My tiny microscopic chrysanthemum. Actually, that one's starting to grow now. Look at that. I got my little tiny microscopic sage. All my herbs are so tiny and microscopic. Yes, I still have not got the new pot out here and put dirt in it. I think I'm going to empty all the dirt. Next year I'm going to do something different for my herbs. But start them indoors and then plant them in pots after I mix the soil with compost. And I got to get a few bags of compost. Okay, how are you doing? You could use a little water. You're in a little pot with a little catch tray, so that one doesn't. And I gotta amend all the soil here. But they're doing good. I've got some more blossoms on the ones that are living. And yes, yellow blossoms are marigold seeds because I overwintered these pots in my raised beds, which means marigold seeds got brushed into the pots. And I guess if I can't have strawberries, I can have flowers. But some of them are actually sending out runners. I've got a runner I'm trying to get rooted in this one since the original plant died, and I still need to finish getting the rest of that out from the old plant, all the dead stuff. But I think we are going to successfully get this runner rooted. And then once it's thoroughly rooted in big plant, I can snip it off the parent plant. I got another runner there. So the runners can be used to grow new plants. All right. Well, I need to finish getting ready for work. This is going to be another long video because I'm just rambling on as I walk through. But I noticed the other day a lot of dark purple droppings, seeds. Yeah, and I'm going, what have the birds been eating that's dark purple? Well, for the first time ever, my hungry robins and starlings have decided that the western sand cherries are tasty. And they've been eating the western sand cherries as they ripen, which I don't mind. You know, they give me dry mouth, and I just, you know, it's like eating a cotton ball for me. A flavored cotton ball, but still cotton ball. Well, apparently they've decided the western sand cherries are yummy, and they're going to eat them.
because before they would just ripen, turn black, shrivel, and then they would just shrivel up and drop off the bush because I was not eating them. But all the ripe ones have been eaten. These are probably the ones that aren't going to ripen. You know, the ones that for some reason or another development stopped and they just failed to ripen. But they have basically got all the ripe Western sand cherries off of here. All the ripe ones have been picked, and all the ones that turned that dark purple, they've all been picked and they've all been eaten. And my flowers are still continuing. I need to stake up this hollyhock here. It's leaning, not from its own weight, but because we've had some winds that really mess up the plants. But yeah, we got the hollyhocks are still blooming, going strong. I just got three nice colors, the pretty white ones. My roses are starting to fade. They do. It always makes me sad when I see the petals starting to turn and fall off. Unfortunately, they won't last forever. We got these pretty dark pink ones. Oh, aren't they just, isn't that just a gorgeous color? Oh, they look so much redder on camera. Aren't they beautiful? Look at that. It's almost as big as a hibiscus bloom. Isn't that gorgeous? And then my frilly double-petaled hollyhocks. This pretty pink. Yeah. They are just, I mean, just look. They got so many. And this one's a dark purple too. It started blooming and it's a dark purple. I think I got a lot of dark purples and pinks over here. Whites over there. I need to get some other colors and get the seeds sown into the ground. So maybe in a couple of years I'll have other colors. I've seen hollyhocks that were such a dark purple they look almost black, you know, and they're, you know, you can even get them with that are even frillier instead of the double petaled. I've seen triple petaled hollyhocks that are just amazing. And it gives me some color after the poppies are done. The poppies are getting ready to go to seed here. And so once they do that, once they dry up, I can actually shake the seeds down inside. I'm gonna try to rig up something, some kind of cage to put over this that will, they can grow up through, but will support the stems so they're not falling away from the house like that. So they stay upright as they're growing. I think that would be nice. Keep them from falling forward. Everybody wants to fall forward away from the house, and it's like, I want you to grow up the side of the wall. But anyways, I gotta get ready to go to work and stop by my mom's house this morning and check on her. Maybe help her pick up a few of the apricots. Her apricots have all fallen off the tree. Yes, people are driving to work and I'm in the front yard. All off her trees, and they're on the ground now, and she wants to pick them up, but it's so hard for her to bend over and try to get them off the ground. I suggested she text my niece who lives in Pocatello to come and help her. It's like, text your granddaughter. You know, she's a stay-at-home mom. She's better able to come and help mom do stuff during the early morning hours. When I get off work, I am so tired. And these are my apricots, all three of them. And they're getting pretty ripe here. Almost. They're still hard. They're still hard though. They're at that stage that I think if they got knocked off the tree and I put one in the window, it'd just finish ripening. But I want them to finish ripening. I think it's amazing that as young as this tree is, and the fact that this is literally got yanked up out of the ground, its roots chopped off, sold as a bare root tree, and then it had to spend all last summer regrowing its roots, and now this year is the year it's supposed to get established in the ground. I think it's amazing. It's produced 3 fruit. Everybody else is not worrying about fruit or creating babies. Everybody else in this little orchard, they're working on getting their roots established in the ground and getting to be big, big trees. And we're starting to get a little leaf curl on the cherry, which means it's feeling a little thirsty. So even though I had sprinklers going out here yesterday, it's time to do some deep watering. So I better get that done too. I also need to hook up the soaker hose here and water again so that I can come out here tomorrow and get more weeds up. The ladies who came and helped me, they're very helpful, and we actually got quite a bit done, about half of it done. There's just so much to do. So much to do. Anyways. And I would like to get some more lilacs and get them planted in here. I'd like to get some from my mom's yard, my grandma's white lilacs. I really do need to dig up some starts and get them in pots and get them established. Keep them from dying. This is late in the year to dig up any start. We got hot days, and there's no way to put it in a climate controlled environment where I'll have the cool 40 plus degree, 49, 50 degree nights and maybe 65 degree daytime temperatures that would encourage it to think it's spring. But yeah, gotta get that done. Otherwise, everybody's growing well, getting big. So, yep, got a lot to do. And here I have been talking for... This is a long video. I'll see y'all tonight, and we'll see if I actually got any of this done today. I've been real tired. And I just need a little more energy. That's all I think. I just need a little more energy, and I could get stuff done a whole lot faster. And faster is the key. So I'll see y'all tonight, folks. Maybe at sunset, maybe before. We'll see. Well, good evening, everybody. We're getting pretty close to sunset there. I'm gonna try and get it filmed for y'all. Hollyhocks are looking beautiful. The roses are still beautiful, even though they're fading. Got sprinklers going now and across the road, and guess what I found on the road when I got home? I was beginning to wonder if this was going to happen. We got our yellow lines. I told ya. There we go. We now have lines dividing our road. So hopefully this will keep people on the right side of the road. They can stay in their lane. I told you, when they first came by and started working on the road, that first they were going to put tar and gravel, then they were going to go and do, after the tar and gravel, they would put a seal coat over the top of that, and then over the top of that we'd get yellow lines. And yep, we now have yellow lines on the road. So without further ado, I am going to say goodnight. God bless. I'll see you on the next video, and I'll set you up here. I got my rice bag so that I can keep everybody from falling over and staring at the sky. We want to watch this beautiful sunset together. Actually, I'm going to go put the water on the raised beds while you guys are watching the sun go down. But I'll see you tomorrow on the next video.